everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Thank you so much for joining me once again for tea time. Today we have just green tea, a little bit of black sage honey. So good. Yummy. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about a little bit of an update to the channel, some stuff that's going on, as well as I want to tell you about that whole Jony Ive leaving Apple, have that discussion with you. I want to get your thoughts on it. And before the end, I want to let you know who is the winner, or actually winners, to that 20,000 subscriber giveaway that I did. So let's get right into it. I want to make this as short as possible. The last video that I did was a Adobe video, and it was long. It was probably like 35 minutes long or something. It was way too long, but it was a lot of good content. If you haven't been watching that series, go check it out. I made a playlist. It's called Life After Adobe, Cutting the Cord. So definitely go check it out. It is really interesting. It's about me and this journey of just getting rid of all Adobe product. Just recently, a little bit of an update, as I said. Yesterday, I think it was, or day before, I was interviewed by another channel. If you haven't seen it, it was by Rick and Harold over at Tech Down Over, and I'll put a link in the description area. It's about a 45-minute interview, but it was really interesting. I had a lot of fun with these guys, just talking tech, talking about the industry, talking about this Life After Adobe series that I'm doing. So definitely check it out. It was fun to do. So let me just first say, before I get into the whole Jony Ives things, if you don't know, all right, I am an Apple user from way back. All right, I started out using Apple in 1984. I know that dates me, but in 1984, I was given an Apple II Plus. And from that day forward, I was a tech geek, all right? I was always working on computers. So from programming EEPROMs to moving into Linux and learning Unix operating system to PC, whatever it was, I've always been into the whole computer thing. I've always been that computer geek, all right? So once again, that is 1984. You're looking at over 35 years of using Apple in one means or another, from way back the Apple II Plus to the iMacs to everything going forward. And as of 2017, I decided to basically cut the cord also with Apple. And yes, we do have some Apple still in the studio, but they do not do any production work at all. I ended up building my own PCs, my own Windows machines. Now, the reason I did that is because I really felt by 2015, 2016, things started going downhill when it comes to Apple, whereas they started focusing more on consumer and less on professional. So that being said, a lot of the professional work that I was doing needed high-end machines, and the machines that they were selling were, number one, overpriced, and number two, they were underpowered. So I ended up building a Ryzen setup. I think it was like $1,800 to do 4K. So I was never able to be able to do that with a Apple. So I said, you know, I think it's time to move on. And that's what I did. I did an entire 2 or 3 videos. I even brought in my son to help me build this machine. So go back in these 250 videos and do a search for Windows, or do a search for Ryzen or something like that, and you'll see it. Very interesting. I really enjoyed the whole process of doing it. And now we have all of these machines in here that are similar, all 4K boxes, and they do a really good job for a third of the price that it would have cost me going Apple. Now, this all being said, we know that Jony Ive has been the main guy over there forever. So who is this Jony Ive guy anyways? Well, he was born in London, and he's about my age, maybe about 3-4 years older. He ended up going to the university over at Newcastle Polytechnic, I think it was called. That's what it was called way back then. But that's where he graduated. And after graduating, he ended up doing like a 1-year intern for Roberts Weaver Group, I believe it was called. And he was only there for a year. And after that year, he moved to Tangerine. Now, Tangerine was another design studio. It was like a startup design studio. And he was only there for a couple of years until Apple recruited him, and he uprooted his family from England, moved them to California, and started with Apple right around 92, I believe it was. So he was at Tangerine from like 90. By 92, he was with Apple, and that is it. He's been there ever since. You're looking at just under 30 years he's been with Apple. So this is a long period of time. He's designed everything that's awesome with Apple. And now, as of late, we hear that he's going to be leaving Apple to create his own studio, his own design group. What is odd here is that Apple has decided to not fill the position that Jony Ive held. So instead of having a chief design officer, there is now going to be like 2 or 3 or 4 people that are working together to basically do his job. His job was, let's call it, specifically made for him. And now they're not going to replace that person with anyone. I think this is a problem. Okay. I think that they've been having problems for the last couple of years because I think, in my personal opinion, Jony Ive has been on the way out for probably a year or 2 already, and we just haven't known about it. I feel like he hasn't been doing as much as in the past. But that all being said, I do think that even once Jony Ive leaves, I think that his design is going to continue, let's say, for 3, 4, 5 years down the road. The same thing that happened with Steve Jobs. But what will happen after that? That's the question. I do think that Tim Cook has done a good job, an okay job, at filling the shoes of Steve Jobs, but not fantastic, let's just say. I don't think anyone can replace Steve Jobs in that company. So that being said, what is going to happen with the whole Jony Ive position, where I really don't think anyone's going to be able to fill his shoes either? He's just an amazing designer, all right? He's just not only created what the products look like, but more importantly, what those products feel like. That whole interface, the GUI that I always talk about, that UI, that user interface that is so important. We know, guys, that looks are everything. Design is everything. Yes, the item has to work great and not catch on fire, but the design of it is what brings you into the platform or brings you into the product, makes you want to buy it. So my question to you guys is, do you think that this new crew that is replacing Jony Ive, will they be able to hang with the big boy? Also, do you think that the products that they produce going forward, will the masses want them? Will they feel like they need them and go out and form lines to pick them up? Or will this mark the slow decline of Apple as Jony Ive's luster just slowly wears off over the next 2 or 3 years? What do you think? What do you think will happen with Apple moving forward? You know where I stand with Apple. I personally think that they have just moved away from the professional and just done everything consumer-based, and that has really hurt them on the pro market. They've come out with a brand new machine, a professional Mac that starts at $6,000 that goes up to like $35,000, okay? It's problematic. I think it's problematic. But in the consumer side of things, where design is so important, what do you think will happen? I personally think that there will be this slow decline, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. Now, let's get into the winner. All right, or winners. As I promised, the winner of that 20,000 subscriber giveaway that I did is here. I picked 2 instead of 1 because I ran this giveaway instead of for 1 week, I ran it for 2. So I figured at that point, it would only be fair to pick 2 people. So the 2 people that have been picked, now I randomly picked through random.org, went down the different messages and selected that message. And whoever put that comment in, I just made sure that they were subscribed, made sure that they had the comment in there, which obviously they did, and that hopefully they had their notifications turned on. So number 1 is Rick Pinelli. Pinelli. And second is DD. That's D space D. Whoever you guys are, please contact me. That's all you have to do is go over to JCristina.com/contact. And in the contact form, just put in your information. Let me know you are the winner. Include your name, your address, city, state, zip code, and of course, your email address if it's an alternative email, and I will get these products right out to you. Once again, you've won all of them. That is the Focus Pyramid autofocus lens calibration tool, as well as the PRT, and finally, the lens as well as sensor cleaning kits, the Aurora camera care kits. The one last thing that you need to tell me is, what size sensor do you have? What size sensor camera? Full frame? Is it an APS-C? Or finally, is it a micro four thirds? Because those Aurora camera care sensor as well as lens cleaning kits are specific to sensor size. So put that in there. So that's it, guys. There's a lot more videos to come. I have a bunch that are coming in the Life After Adobe series, so check that out. Once again, look at that playlist. I also have a brand new product that's going to be coming out in the next week. I'm going to show you a behind the scenes building or creation of that packaging using other alternative to Adobe software. I'm going to show you that. I'm also going to start doing some more giveaways and some reviews. So there's a lot that's coming this month. So if you enjoy my content, please throw me a big thumbs up. That would be awesome. And as always, smash that subscribe button so you can get all my content when it becomes available, and click the bell icon so when it is available, you will be notified of it. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That would be awesome. I'm out. We'll see you in the next vlog. Happy shooting. Take care, guys.